The second finalist of the World Cup today after a mouth-watering semi-final, Morocco versus France. Morocco is the big surprise of this World Cup. Manager Walid Regragui compared them to the iconic movie character Rocky. And I like that comparison. The Atlas Lions made it to the semi-finals by beating Portugal in the quarter-finals. Youssef En-Nesyri jumped high like an eagle to head the ball in to put them 1-0 up in the first half. Portugal hit Morocco with a barrage of chances in the second half, but it just wasn't enough. Moroccan goalkeeper Yassine Bounou had an answer for everything and was later crowned man of the match. It's the first time an African country has made it to the semi-finals of a World Cup. A Moroccan journalist couldn't control his emotions during the press conference after the game, which resulted in this beautiful moment.
Yassine Bounou, Walid Regragui. Je suis un journaliste marocain, but I'm going to speak in English so all the journalists in this room will understand what I'm saying. Yassine and Walid, today you have made history. I don't have any question. I just would like to thank you. I would like to thank you because this has never been done in Moroccan football. You have gained back the trust of a whole Moroccan generation. 40 million Moroccan people are happy today of what you've done. Thank you, Coach Walid. Thank you, Yassine Bounou, for everything that you have done. Today you have marked the Moroccan history. I'm speaking and I have tears in my eyes because seriously you have marked Moroccan history, Yassine. Thank you. First of all, as a Moroccan... Second of all, as a Moroccan...
Moroccans celebrated all over the world, from Casablanca to Paris and Amsterdam. They kicked Spain and Portugal out of the tournament already, but perhaps their biggest test awaits today, when Morocco faced their former colonizers France in the semi-finals. Maher Mezadi is a football journalist who specializes in North African football. I asked him for his perspective on Morocco's tournament so far and the upcoming game versus France. Here's Maher.
So Morocco making it this far means so much to so many different people. It means a lot to Africans all over the continent, to Arabs all over the MENA region, the Muslim world in general as well. So really we're talking about billions of people probably. For Africans, I think it's because historically they've kind of been discriminated against in this tournament. You know, the World Cup started in 1930 and we didn't really have our one guaranteed qualification slot until 1970. So for the first 40 years of this tournament, we weren't really playing. Part of that was due to colonization, but mostly because FIFA didn't think that an African nation or the African continent deserved an automatic qualification slot. And even when they did give us one from 1970 to 1998, it was 1, 2, or 3 slots, which was not nearly enough considering that, you know, Africa is 1/6 probably of the world's population. And I think that's why you see a lot of Africans happy for Morocco, because as we were sort of excluded from the World Cup, sort of had to come together collectively to guarantee certain rights. And so it's sort of like inherited solidarity on the African continent. We've been together, we've been doing things together for, you know, decades. And as a result, whenever we go to World Cups, we want to do well because we understood historically that if we did well, that would mean a bigger piece of the pie. And a bigger piece of the pie would mean probably more investment on football in the continent. And so it's good for everybody. So that's why it means so much to Africans in general. And for Muslims and Arabs, I think it's more of this was such a big event for the Arab world. The perfect scenario would have always been to have one of the MENA region teams, whether it was Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Morocco, or Tunisia, go far in this tournament, just to say that, you know, the first Arab World Cup had, you know, an Arab team do well in it. And the fact that Morocco made it this far, I think just, it's like a cherry on top of the cake for the Qataris. I think they'll be very, very happy with that. And for the rest of the Muslim world, I mean, they just look at the Moroccan players and they see, you know, symbols that probably hadn't associated with success, you know, in the past. Things like, you know, some of the players wearing beards, you know, their mothers wearing hijabs, and they're going to hug them together. And they see Muslim families, you know, that they're kneeling down in prayer, you know, after they score a goal or after the final whistle. These are all things that, you know, people can relate with, you know, whether you're from India or Indonesia or Malaysia. It creates a sort of bond, a religious bond. And that, you know, speaks to a lot of people as well. And I think that's why you see Morocco have become this favorite of the neutrals. So many people are behind them. So many people are staking a claim in their success. And Morocco, I think, is also very happy to share the success with everybody. So Morocco making it this far means a lot from an inspirational standpoint. You know, a lot of people are going to be trying to follow in their footsteps on the continent. From a representation standpoint, from a symbolic standpoint. That's why I think everybody's so happy for them. And that's why I think what we're seeing is, perhaps even once in a lifetime. It took 92 years for an African team to make it to the semifinals. Hopefully we see more of this happening in the future. I'm confident that it will, but you can never know. As for the expectations for this semifinal, they went into the tournament with no expectations simply because they had a brand new coach and we didn't know if it was going to work out or not. And obviously it has worked out really, really well. So the coach has said it himself. He said, look, we're not favorites in every single one of the matches that we played so far. We're not going to be favorites in the future matches. And they're just more worried about themselves. They're more worried about getting their players fit and healthy off of the injury list. So no expectations. Just play the best football and let the chips fall where they may.
World champions France got to the semi-finals by beating England in the quarterfinals. That was a very competitive game. Aurélien Tchouameni opened the score with a screamer from distance in the first half, but the game didn't really open up until the second half. Harry Kane equalized through a penalty after a foul on Bukayo Saka. However, Olivier Giroud restored France's lead with his 53rd goal for France through a header. England then had a golden opportunity to equalize when they were given another penalty in the last 10 minutes of the game. But Kane missed, hitting the ball high over the crossbar. The dream ended here for England, and it was not coming home. So, we have another very exciting semi-final to look forward to today, with Morocco versus France. I hope you have a great World Cup day and check out all the other content we make, like the breakfast show and the Every Beautiful Game vlogs. We'll see you again very soon.
Look how far we've come.